recognize that your network is your net worth, i.e., in building and growing and investing in your network, you will be able to uncover unique opportunities that are designed just for you. And LinkedIn is one of the best platforms to help you do that. But like many doctors, you may not already be on LinkedIn, or you've joined but not really quite sure how to use it effectively because, like many social media platforms, there's a lot of overwhelm associated with even engaging with it. So let me tell you my simple 3-step strategy on using LinkedIn effectively so that you can uncover the best opportunities for you as a doctor who's motivated to move forward with a career that you love. But like many of us, you really don't have that much time. So if you are saying yes, please, to a career that you love in 2023 and beyond, stay tuned to this episode. Let's face it, burnout amongst doctors is sky high, and we're actively seeking other ways to make the most of our transferable skills beyond the usual career pathways. Welcome to Disrupting Doctors' Careers. I'm your host, Dr. Abeyna Bubbers-Jones, and I'm on a mission to connect 1 million doctors across the world with the best in diverse career opportunities. Hello to all my doctor listeners. Thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to a new year. So this is recorded in January 2023. This is a very, very special year for all of you listeners, simply because you are going to kill it this year, next year and beyond. You are really going to take control of your career and really make that impact that you want in a career that you love. Whether that's medicine, whether that's nothing to do with medicine, it doesn't matter. The reason why I am here and Medic Footprints is here is to make sure that we help you on your journey to be who you want to be, to live the life that you want to live, and on your own terms. That is the most important thing, because we can see that the world will definitely be a better place if talented doctors like you are free to make your own choices in your career and tackle some of the world's most pressing issues. And to be face it, this world has a lot of pressing issues, and particularly within healthcare. Before we get started, if you're someone that's investing in taking strides in your LinkedIn strategy this year in order to get the opportunity you want, tell me if you've ever experienced this. So you're applying for loads of jobs or opportunities, but you're not getting any response. Or you're trying to apply for a non-medical role, but you're worried that you don't have the qualifications. Or you're trying to move to another career opportunity and you've been told that you've got to take a massive pay cut. Or like many of us who are setting up or in the process of building a business, you're not sure how to find clients that pay. Right? So to start the year afresh and to start this journey to your exciting career, we are running a masterclass on the 15th of February. So if you are listening to this before the 15th of February, hey, this is your time. It's entitled How to Sell Yourself as a Doctor to Get the Industry Opportunity You Want. So remember, all of the things I've just mentioned, it's not you that's the problem, it's how you go about getting your career opportunity that you want. So I've designed this masterclass especially for you, so don't miss it. Go to medicfootprints.org/how to sell, 2 being the number 2. So medicfootprints.org/how to sell. I'll see you there. So moving forward, I am back from a loosely spoken maternity leave. So I had a baby basically a few months ago, and I myself was really, really conflicted in whether I should be doing work or not, considering I'm completely self-employed. I run this business. I'm also a consultant in occupational health. And, you do worry as a parent, as a doctor, when you're out of the game, how will that affect you going back into the game? Will people forget you, right? And one of the really great things about social media platforms is that you can still engage with them or have things kind of on automation, or even people just engaging on your behalf without you actually doing much. And this is one of the things I'm so grateful for about today, and also about some of my choices in my career, deciding to move from surgery to occupational medicine, and really gaining a lot of flexibility in my life that really leaves me free to spend time with my family, spend time really doing other things outside of medicine. That is what really keeps me whole. So during the time when I was formally off, many of you may not have realized that I was formally off, because I still had a lot of presence on LinkedIn. So I've got about 6,500 followers, I believe, at the moment, something along those lines, which isn't bad. But I have to say, it's not easy to get to that point. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes consistency. But I'm not saying to you that you need to find 6,500 followers. The most important thing for you is to get to a critical point, where you have a very good, high quality network that enables you to uncover the opportunities that are designed for you. So yes, LinkedIn advertises a number of jobs, but as I've said on many of my podcasts, by the time these jobs are advertised, you're really putting yourself up against a lot of competition. And the reality is, 60 to 80% of jobs out there, they're never advertised. And the reality is, those jobs are probably more likely to fit your needs than the ones that are advertised. So it is really important that this year, you really need to develop yourself a strategy, if you are going on LinkedIn, to really build that high quality network that you need to move forward in your career. So before I go into details of the strategy that I use to keep top of mind for my high quality network that I've developed and taken a long time to develop, I just want to say thank you to you for listening to this podcast. I want to say thank you so much for our subscribers that listen to this religiously every time an episode is released on our Sundays, those who are subscribed to our mailing list, and also those that have left us reviews. So if you're one of those, thank you. And if you're like, oh, I forgot to leave a review, make sure it's 5-star. Only leave the review if it's 5-star, please. If you have any advice on how we can improve our podcast, don't hesitate to send us an email, team@medicfootprints.org. Every single bit of feedback we get, we take on board, and it just helps us get better. It just helps me get better as well. This is the equivalent to a 360-degree appraisal, right? You saying something about your experience listening to my ramblings or any of the content Medic Footprints put out is hugely, hugely invaluable. So thank you again if you have, and thank you if you're thinking about it. But please go and do it. And don't forget, if you're not on our mailing list already, go to medicfootprints.org/join our mission. So on to the simple 3-step strategy that I employ to develop my high quality network. And this strategy is particularly useful if you're anything like me, where you have no time, or you find LinkedIn as like an overwhelmed platform, or like many people, you're just an introvert and you just want to do the basics to just try and get ahead. Number 1, make sure that you have a complete profile. So imagine LinkedIn is basically, it's a Google for professionals. So your profile needs to be designed so that you are found by the right people. So if you are a doctor and you are interested in lifestyle medicine and you want to be connecting with other professionals in the whole arena, well-being, you name it, make sure that on your profile, it is very clear from the get-go that you are in that space. So these are the things that I would really focus on, especially if you don't have much time. Number one, always have a profile picture. People like to connect with real people. Number two, please do fill in your banner and make sure your banner is illustrative and really represents your space or you. So what I've seen really effectively is people like me, I've put my our mission as my banner and a lot of Medic Footprints branding. Some other people will put companies that they work for if they're entrepreneurs or business owners. Others will do like very nice backgrounds of cities or something related to that space. I've seen people who say, for example, they're in lifestyle medicine, have written lifestyle medicine as an interesting kind of decorative background. Whatever it is, make sure that that background is filled. So it's your brand. It's supposed to represent who you are. It's your brand. But don't underestimate the power of that just from the visuals and aesthetics perspective. Number two, in your profile, that is, make sure that your headline, so that is the bit that goes beneath your name, really summarizes who you are. So that is like your elevator pitch. So for me, at the moment, I've written a sentence that I connect talented doctors with the best in diverse careers and in health tech. So, and I've also put consultant in occupational health. So that's really key. So anyone that contacts me, they know who I am, they know what I'm for. Yes, it is a bit long, but I was conflicted between the two because those are still my two main hats. Other people, especially if you're someone that is relatively new to moving to industry, you can put, I am a medical doctor with interest in lifestyle medicine. Something really simple like that. But the key is if you want to be found for lifestyle medicine, make sure that's like really high up in your profile. And then we're looking at your about section. This is a very, very important section. Again, it just gives you an opportunity to create an easy to read, concise summary about who you are, who you're for, who you're not for, and also make sure you have a call to action in there. So if someone is interested in getting hold of you, what is the best way of doing that? You might say, send me an email. You might say, give me a call. You might say, DM me, but just invite that conversation. Remember, LinkedIn is a networking platform. It's a platform for connections and conversations. And then the rest of your profile, focus on the jobs. If you're a doctor and you have like a number of hospitals that you've worked for, yes, put those hospitals in, but reality is we want to know what you've done in those jobs. So the standout things that you've done. Again, if you're doing lifestyle medicine, using that example, make sure that the description is key. Like as a doctor in X hospital, I worked on this project that focused on the nutritional value of eggs in pediatrics or something along those lines. I've completely made that up, as you can tell. And you presented that at the regional lifestyle medicine conference. Again, lifestyle medicine. So you really want to pepper those keywords throughout your profile. Joining lifestyle medicine groups is always a great thing. And also filling in the skills bit. So for every job that you put in, you can also really bring out the skill set. And those are the main bits I would focus on to start with. And these are things that you have. If you're a member of any colleges, definitely put that in. That really helps you be found. So the whole purpose of filling in your profile and making sure it's complete as possible is that you will be found. And make sure you continue to audit your profile and update it as much as possible. So, number 2. Well, really, it's actually number 2 and 3 at the same time, which is engage and connect, or connect and engage. So especially if you're new to LinkedIn, you're like, oh my gosh, I know no one and everyone knows everyone. It's like you go to a party and you're like, oh gosh, I'm going to stand in the corner because, I don't know which conversation to join. But the reality is on LinkedIn, apparently there's stats are going out there saying up to 70% of people on LinkedIn do not actually post or say anything on LinkedIn. And so what you do see is probably not representative of what most people think. So this is a great opportunity for you to really grow your network and identify who the right influencers are or people of similar interests in your space are, and actually start having conversations with them without having to put yourself out there too much. So what I tend to do is, firstly, when you join LinkedIn, they kind of ask, like, can we connect with your friends? So start connecting with your friends and anyone that you already know. That's the easiest way to start. The next thing to do is LinkedIn will give you examples or suggest feeds that you can actually, or posts that you can actually engage with. And the best thing to do is comment on the post. So when you comment, your name comes up, you get to engage with other people you're not connected with. You get to see what other people are saying. You get to have a conversation. It's a public conversation, but this also helps you to build your credibility in your networks. And this is how I have ended up in LA, right? You weren't expecting that. So this is several years ago, but I engaged in a conversation. I cannot even remember what it was about. But at the end of the day, I met this medical student come professor who worked at UCLA. And next thing I know, I'm visiting him in LA and engaging with other doctors in LA, San Francisco. I kid you not, right? It's true. It's true. And that was just from engaging in a conversation on someone else's post, right? So I would 100% recommend that you just start listening, watching, reading, and then commenting. It doesn't need to be, whole hog, but just start putting stuff out there. At the end of the day, you feel like, imposter syndrome. No one's going to want to know what I'm saying or my thoughts. Everyone thinks that. Everyone thinks that about themselves. And at the end of the day, people will read what you're saying and will say, hey, that could be interesting, or may not see it at all, or may not care, right? And you haven't lost anything. So one of the benefits of doing that is that you can identify people that you can connect with, and people can reach out to you. And I would do that as consistently as possible. So again, you can get lost in LinkedIn. So it has to be done at a schedule that works for you, whether that's twice a day, whether that's twice a week, whether that's twice a month, whether that's twice a year. I mean, obviously, if it's twice a year, it's going to take you a while, right? But whatever it is, just make sure it's something that you can comfortably do consistently for yourself. And I think that's probably one of the most effective ways of actually uncovering connections and actually starting to have meaningful conversations with the people that you need to connect with in your network. Bonus to that, you have the option to leave a nice little message whenever you invite someone to connect. Really utilize the opportunity and say something meaningful and specific to them, whether it's what they've said or whether it's their background or experience. Be nice about it, and you may get a response. You may not always, but this is a way in. So once you've got a first degree connection, it means that you can message them and actually have one-to-one conversations with them, and potentially you can get their email address. So you're getting in with them. You're getting in with the right people. So using this strategy consistently, I promise you, this will help you to uncover, or at least get you started uncovering some of those opportunities that are not advertised. And this is through growing your network and uncovering those opportunities through conversation. So conversation with other people, using the direct messaging utility or email, or getting someone on a call. And how do you know that this strategy is working for you? The comments, you will get approached. Someone will message you about what you want to be found for. You will get tagged in other people's posts. That happens to me quite a lot. Sometimes if the posts are highly engaging, so a lot of people are commenting on them, this works really well for you because your name gets mentioned and people start looking at your profile and wanting to connect with you. And obviously, if someone is offering you a job that you may be interested in, or signposting you towards a job that you may be interested in, that's also another sign that this strategy is working really well for you. The question is, how long will it take? As I said, it completely depends on a lot of things. How frequently you engage with LinkedIn, how targeted you are, and how well your profile is set apart from others to make it clear as to what you are for. And there is also a lot of luck involved. Don't forget, this is networking and a lot of it is luck. So I hope you found that useful, that 3-step strategy. It's quite simple. Requires a little bit of upfront investment if your profile isn't ready to go yet, but I promise you it will be effective and you will start seeing results. We work with our Medic Footprints premium members on building a really effective LinkedIn profile, and some of the doctors that I mentor, and they have successfully uncovered many opportunities using some of our methods. So if this is of interest to you, feel free to send us an email at team@medicfootprints.org, or feel free to join our membership, which as standard includes us auditing your CV and your LinkedIn profile, as well as offering one-to-one mentorship amongst many other things. So to find out more about that, please go to medicfootprints.org/go premium. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. I hope you found it useful. Do not forget, 3-step strategy is complete your profile, connect and engage, or engage and connect, and keep going at it. And don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn and send me a DM. See you in our next episode. And don't forget our masterclass on the 15th of February, how to sell yourself to get the industry opportunity you want as a doctor. Go to medicfootprints.org/how to sell, 2 being the number 2. And if it's after the 15th of February 2023, just send us a line at team@medicfootprints.org and we may be able to give you access to the recording. But hey, let's face it, coming live with your Q&As is where you are going to get the best out of this event. So don't miss it.